And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. Namaskar, welcome to This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and I take this opportunity of welcoming all of you as well as Dr. Parikh to this very special show. Namaskar, Dr. Sahab. Welcome.
Namaskar.
So, in the last week, there has been some interesting as well as exciting developments from India in terms of election 2019. Talk to me about special features from Sankalp Ghoshna Patra or election manifesto of BJP.
Well, I mean, BJP election manifesto of BJP is more on economics and national security. These are the two important points. They were it's kind of it stands out, and what a manifesto says that BJP would like to do $100 billion spend for next 5 years to build a huge infrastructure in the country, and by doing that, what will happen is there will be more job, there will be more people will be employed, and indirectly it will lift a lot of people from the poverty. And I think that's a very good concept of the lifting the people from the poverty and developing India into the 21st century.
So one aspect is related to development and development of infrastructure, another related to national security.
Yes.
On that count, do you see there is a distinct difference in the approach of Congress and BJP in the context of Jammu and Kashmir also? Both parties see differently Article 370.
Yes, I think both parties are seeing differently, and BJP even last manifesto also was saying that they would like to remove the 370 and 35A, but they could not do it in last 5 years. But I think still they want to continue that formula and going forward to make sure that the complete kind of assimilation of the Kashmir happens with India. And I think most of the Indian population would love it, and they will like it, so their approach is, I think it's probably it's time to try that approach.
And of course, there will be people who would oppose it, and there are openly raising their concern and voice from Jammu and Kashmir. But moving forward towards the question of credibility or the way people perceive which leader is going to live up to his words. And as you mentioned that the use of the word formula, so promises are made during election time and many times they are not followed in spirit.
So at the end of the day, usually the perception of the people will be important, where they're going to cast their vote or who they're going to support. And again, the perception always creates from the past history and past experience. And what NDA has shown recently, that by having airstrikes and by having crossing the LOC, that they will not tolerate anything which is against, I mean, from the terrorist people to attack the Indian soil, because Indian sovereignty is a very important part of their manifesto or governance.
So India emerging as a strong nation, a nation which is not going to take it without responding adequately with force, is the kind of image which Prime Minister Narendra Modi has projected. And allow me to ask you, how do you feel when he addresses first-time voters and young voters and tells them that you should consider those who went for airstrike while casting your vote? So is it directly connecting the actions of army with politics? Is it okay? Is it not okay? What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's a gray area. I mean, because now there is a code of conduct for election. So, I mean, it's kind of gray area, but he could have said same thing in the different words and still would have gave the same message.
Absolutely. So the way we select our word would vary, of course, from individual to individual, from leader to leader. But now talking about one leader of Congress party who has sustained a campaign saying that Chaukidar Chor hai, meaning making a question mark on the honesty and integrity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And at the same time, recently we have seen there are some raids from IT, especially one particular related to OSD or previous OSD of Chief Minister Kamal Nath, where they unearthed 14.5 crores of cash. And also there were some papers which suggested that there could be some cash flow to the tune of 300 crore, something like that. So how do you see it is likely to play out in the election?
Well, I think anything which is illegal or immoral or which is not to be done by according to the rules and regulations of the country, it's not good. So that has to be pursued and punished. And I think it may kind of give the perception to the voters that Narendra Modi is very serious about pursuing this kind of black money or hawala money or whatever you call it. But the same token, I would be happy if government has kind of raided. I'm sure that there are similar things happening in all the parties. So instead of targeting one party, if you had done in all the party, including even BJP, if it is there, then it would have given more credibility. And
so what you are saying ideally makes sense, Dr. Saab, but now think about it, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, whosoever is pulling the strings, if they are aware that this raid is happening to a BJP headquarter or BJP, then they know that they will have to answer that why it is happening. So there is a catch-22 there.
I know it is catch-22, but I mean, what I'm saying is, apart from election, wherever there is a illegal activities, doesn't matter whether it's done by BSP, SP, leftist, or whoever, everything should be followed and put the example. And obviously, this kind of raid on the Chief Minister's OSD, it's very poor optics for Congress. And I'm sure that will hurt Congress overall perception, and it will help BJP to earn some more votes.
Absolutely. Congress is saying that this is politically motivated. So anything that happens where some of the leaders are implicated or questioned, then they say that this is politically motivated. How do you see that works on the minds of common men?
Well, it again depends who we are talking to, and most of the so-called intellectuals may not believe it, or they believe otherwise, that this is politically motivated. Most of the hardcore supporter of any party will believe it, or rural people may believe it. So it all depends what section of the society we are talking to.
Now, talking about different sections of society and talking about some creative individuals, intellectuals, it happened during previous elections also, Dr. Parikh, that some people wrote letters, open letters, that do not elect this party or this leader because it might lead to some sort of a damage to Indian spirit. And similar letter, over 600 filmmakers and other people have written sharing their views why one should not vote for Prime Minister Modi or BJP, that this is against diversity. And some of the names includes very successful director Anurag Kashyap or Amol Palekar and things like that. So how do you see, based on the previous election, looks like these kind of expressions, collective letters makes no difference on the voters?
Probably you are right that it does not make much significant difference in the voters' mind, because they just they listen to it and they kind of brush it off. So I don't think there is any negative impact on in the election. But on the flip side of it, everyone has right to opine their personal opinion. So most likely most of the voter will take it as that, okay, that's their own opinion, and that ends the story.
Absolutely.
So nothing to worry about, nothing to be concerned about. And in the election time, everything, this kind of thing goes around. It doesn't mean much.
So there is one thing with which we would probably conclude today's conversation, and that is quite compliment for NRI community. I would say that the maximum remittance from any country.
Yes.
So India is number one, $17
Right.
billion in 2018. So now I want to connect this with the leadership of Prime Minister. Do you think it has something to do with ease of doing business? It has something to do with the kind of patriotic fervor or feelings which Prime Minister Narendra Modi traveling in different parts of the world aroused?
No, of course, it has to be do with the strong government, strong governance, and very decisive Prime Minister, leader. And of course, all credit goes to Prime Minister Modi. And always this kind of remittance or more foreign investment in India always comes when there is a confidence. So obviously, indirectly, the credit goes to the Prime Minister and Narendra Modi's government, because it perceived as a strong government, very strong governance, easy to do the business in India as compared to in past, and of course that always increases the foreign investment in India.
Wonderful. And as we conclude this wonderful show with very engaging conversation with Dr. Sudhir Parikh, Dr. Sudhir, we are very close to this election season. Many of our viewers on YouTube and other ways watch this program sitting in India also. What would you like to tell them? Before our next show, probably they'll start casting their vote.
Well, I understand that first stage of the voting is starting from tonight, means tomorrow, 11th of April. So I would urge all the voters that please vote for strong leadership, strong governance, and strong leader who can make or who can take India to next level.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, joining us for this show this week with lots of good wishes to you. And again, thanks to all our viewers for being with us. Namaskar.
Well, again, thank you, all the viewers. We'll see you. Goodbye, and we'll see you next week. God bless America. God bless India.